All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Geopolitical Trends, where truth matters. Welcome to our community conversation. Where are my reading glasses? I need to have those ones here on. There we go. All right, good to see you all, guys. Excited to be with you as always. But this is also a good time for us just to chat about nothing specific. So let me first say hi to our community. Here, local, good to see you, man. Here's Harry Local, an avid supporter of channel. All of you guys, no exception. It's just sometimes you gotta, because I do remember the days when Harry Local would put a lot of super stickers. You guys do not know. Sometimes there are some of you in the channel. They really support the channel behind the scenes, and I just wanted to give credit where credit is due. Multi Tom Tom, good to see you. Zakaria Bensil, good to see you. Jerome Lazarus, good to see you. I'm gonna share this with the community. Dr. O, I love what you are doing more than how Jesus loves little children. Respect to you, Dr. O. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. Dave H, good to see you. Francis Tango, as always, an avid supporter of the channel. Same thing with the Francis Tango. You guys, you might not see it here, but behind the scenes, supports the channel regularly, and I'm very, very grateful. Farid Amal, thank you for being here. Hello, everyone. Do you all think Zelensky slept well? He did not, because here's the thing, guys. I don't know if you know or not. There are now reports emerging that he has been kicked out of the White House. Because the one thing that for me confirms it is because the lunch that was supposed to take place was canceled. They scrapped it. So usually, if they scrap lunch or dinner or whatever, that's bad news. So, and we'll address that one a little bit later on as we move forward. Truth Seeker, good to see you as always. Marco W, good to see you. Jan Hakor, as always, good to see you. Jan Hakor has been with me here since the beginning on the other channel. I remember the first time I saw that, and I remember Dr. Stewart. He read the questions. Jan Hakor, it's like we checked. So thank you for being an avid supporter of the both channels. I'm very, very grateful to you. So Nap Works, hello to you as well. And where are you joining us from? Napworks. I'd like to know what part of the world. So, and to all of you, for whomever wants to put it down. John Smith, good to see you as always, and appreciate your contribution to the conversation. To all of you guys. Mambu Harigat, Mambu Soja, good to see you. Jimmy, New York City 21, an avid supporter of the channel as well. Thank you. There you are. Yeah. Those Dr. Dwayne, good to see you. Athene Wu, as always, an avid supporter of the channel, has been around since I started basically. So Imtiaz Saeed, good to see you. And Imtiaz, I'm taking it. I don't know what part of the world you're in. Can you type in where you're from? Joining me here, and I have a reason for why I'm asking that. So, Napwork from Bangkok. Wow, good to see you here. I enjoy my time in Bangkok. It was work related, of course, and wonderful human being there, wonderful people. They were just so kind to me. So I went in the streets and ate some street food, even though we're staying in a hotel and all that. I didn't care for all that. So, Valerie from Sang good to see you, an avid supporter of the channel as well. But I wanted to share here Valerie, Sergio from Chicago. Oh, very, very interesting. Okay. And yes, Hiri Local is a member of the Buy Me Coffee. They are about, total, I have about 210 people there, but about 56 of them are an avid supporters of the Buy Me Coffee membership there. So I'm very, very grateful to all of you guys, to all of you. So I needed to ask Imtiaz, if you're still here, where are you joining me from? Moldova. Who was here? Moldova. Yeah, Valerio, Moldova. Wow. I've never been there. I'd like to visit one day. Imtiaz, I'm from UK, Pakistan born, and I'm the reason Imtiaz I'm saying is because today is Ramadan, the first day. I don't know if you fast or not, and I know some people do fasting not because of religion, because of health reasons. I do it for health reasons. I fast. Believe it or not, it's just the discipline of it. So happy Ramadan to you, and to those who celebrate it. Now, I did see something earlier about oil, and I usually drink oil 1 tablespoon every morning. And I'm not advertising for this, guys. I just want to show you good quality olive oil here. This bottle is about $30, $30, but it is a pure extra virgin olive oil. This is 100% Italian, so it's called the Lucini. So this is the one I drink just as is, and this is the avocado oil. This is the one I cook with. Stay away from sunflower oil and all that stuff. That'll clog your arteries. Stay away from that. This is why that junk food guys outside, those French fries and all that. Do you have any idea how old that oil is? It's been sitting there. They just put potatoes there, fry them, give them to people and eat. And the more you eat that stuff, the worse it makes it for your health. So I just remember seeing that one here regarding the oil, and I wanted to, because I didn't open this one yet. So still, because I have another one. Anyway, so all right, let me see. All right, let me see here. Jimmy in New York City, 21 euro. Dr. O, Hathani hit a home run yesterday. Oh, Hathani is the guy, that baseball guy. I don't know much about baseball, but I've already been reading about it, thanks to, yeah, Ohtani. Ohtani, this guy seems to be some high-end caliber baseball player to those who play baseball. So I was told he is top notch. So to those who understand baseball and all that. So thank you so much for sharing this one with us here. Truth Seeker, where are you? Right here. You wrote something. I also cook with avocado oil only. Smart move. Smart move. If you do your eggs or onions, you saute them or whatever, use avocado oil. Stay away. I know it's a little bit pricey, but again, your health is worth more. Yeah, your health is worth more. So what they're messing up with nutrition, at least in this country here, it's very bad. Americans have no idea what are they eating, what are they consuming. It's nutrition here. It's degrading. So I mean, you just notice even the chemtrails every morning, far out. I see them here, and this is why a lot of people now moving into having even their own chicken as far as eggs and all that, because you just don't know what they're putting into the food. And like I always say, guys, your health is your best asset. Money comes and goes. Your health will stay with you forever. So the Imtiaz, you're right. I'm gonna share it here. Show this one. Imtiaz, you're right about comedian Z. Well, the guy is a criminal. That's all it is. I mean, when they're snatching people in the streets to send them to the front line, that's not right. That is not right. And so it looks like DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, it's gonna be conducting now an audit of all the billions of dollars that's been sent to Ukraine, and rightly so. And I hope they put those people to trial. And again, if it were up to me regarding the punishment, you know where I stand on that. Corruption can be that's how I will deal with it. That's how I'll deal with it. So yeah, his approach, comedian Z, is not gonna work with Donald Trump. So it's just not gonna work, because also Donald Trump is thinking about it differently, thinking about it in terms of his ego. I am the one who stopped the war between Ukraine and Russia. But anyway, that's for another day as far as the political conversation and so forth. So, all right, what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna look if there are any questions here, because that's what we are here in the community, to just chat and all that stuff. I just remember seeing this oil thing. That's why I brought this up, and I wanted to share it with you to let you know. But if you do this 1 tablespoon on an empty stomach in the morning, as soon as you wake up, you'll notice the difference in few weeks. It's not going to happen overnight, especially if you have not been using this. So it's it will be very, very, very good. So all right. And while I'm thinking about it, since I saw here Hiri Lukel as a Buy Me Coffee member, I want to take this opportunity to say just this morning to my dear friend he is in China, Ray, just bought me 10 cups of coffee in support of the channel. The same thing happens with the Hanging G in the UK. So bought me 10 cups of tea, that one in support of my upcoming Asia trip. So speaking of the Asia trip and the that one, and again, I am thinking of the time frame for it. I will let you know. I do not want to travel in October, because that's especially the first week, because that's the festival, the national holidays, and all that. I saw it. I enjoyed it. It just, I want to go in a different time of the year. So July, I think I do have another trip, personal one, that is separate from. That's gonna be, I think, in June, somewhere around that time. Then I'll do the Asia trip. So that's fine. Atin Wu. Yes, David. I also heard Zelensky was kicked out. That's the word I got, especially when the lunch was canceled. Well, yeah, but Soja, yeah, no soup for Z. Well, he is. It's not a laughing matter, but the guy is not he's not a politician. He's not a comedian. A comedian. You don't take everything in life as a comedy. Life is complicated enough. So, and when you become responsible for the livelihood of people, you better get your act together. You better get your act together. So that is uh, to me, that's the utmost responsibility. And to me, when people in charge play with the livelihoods of the constituents, that's not right. I just don't, and I never like that. So it's a responsibility more so than anything else. So now you ask yourself, the million people that died, what did they die for? What has been accomplished? Nothing. So good to see you, Julius. And that's your Jimmy in New York City 21. That was Julius that helped me understand a little bit about the players of baseball. So yeah, Julius is a baseball fanatic. He understands the ins and outs of baseball. And Julius and I would communicate privately. So I learn a lot about the baseball. It's very, very interesting to learn something new. So all right, let me see. I'm gonna scroll all the way up and start going to see if there are any questions from you guys, and we'll chat about that one. Next, what was I gonna say? Next monthly conversation, guys, I'm gonna have Dr. Stewart here join us for about 25 minutes. He's busy during the weekend. I like to be respectful of his time, but I talked to him last time and he said, sure, I'll be happy to do it. And this way, and I'll give you a heads up, guys, once it's confirmed that he will be here, and you can ask some questions. MTS, what I'm thinking about it, since you mentioned Pakistan. Did you guys know that Pakistan is the only country so far that has been allowed to use the Chinese Tiangong space station? I know Pakistan doesn't have a space program, but it's just to give you an idea. And even with today, the changes that's going on, interesting enough that they are now in Pakistan, they are calling for the release of the political prisoners, including the opposition, that is. So it's sad what's going on in Pakistan. But I remember when I used to be in Afghanistan, one of the guards used to go, and he will get me. You are you guys familiar with the fruit called persimmons? It looks like tomato, but what Pakistan is known for persimmons, and those are so good. So it will get me some. I used to eat with them, guys. I didn't eat at the most of the time. I didn't eat at the chow hall for the embassy, whatever. I will eat with the locals. They treated me so nice. They were kind to me, and I trusted them too. Yeah, they could have killed me just being an American, whatever. They never. It was they were so kind to me, and I'll sit down on the ground with them, eat with my bare hands. I'll wash my hand and eat with them. And they used to make me, for those who know a little bit about Afghanistan, they used to make me a dish called karai. It's known. It's the same like in Pakistan is known as the rice biryani. In Afghanistan, they used to make me karai. So. AF Gordon Carleon, good to see you here from San Francisco. How is San Francisco? I know, and I heard a lot of issues going on, or especially now with what's going on with the governor. That is because Congress is going to cut off some aid that was supposed to go to California. It's not going there. So. Another individual, I can go without saying hi and thanks. It's Army with Harmony. Thank you for sharing your time and knowledge. You're most welcome. And Army with Harmony has been an avid supporter of the channel. I enjoyed the conversation, and yeah, of course, I enjoy it. This is why I was thinking. To me, this time is important. Why is this? It's because that's how you get to know the community better, and you kind of, it's our time away from whatever. It's just our time to chat and so forth. So. Thank you so much, Army with Harmony, for gifting a membership to whomever got it there. So I greatly appreciate it for that. So. All right, guys, let me see some questions from you. And remember when it. Okay, I'll answer this one if I know. Cheesecake, good to see you as always. How is inflation in your area? In which items has the fast prices changed? Well, there are some here. There are some. I think about it, for example, in terms of eggs. I don't buy eggs out because I have chickens inside here. The price is going up, and even those high end, they call them the high end eggs, good quality, that is like $12-13 a cart. Those eggs are not as what's the word, organic as they might have you believe, because of what the feed they give to the chickens has chemicals in it. That's why I say if something you don't grow it yourself, you're not going to know. Will I trust them? No, I won't. Yeah, it says this is a high-end eggs, whatever. No, I have eggs that I know what I'm feeding the chickens here at home. So, and I do give them a treat once in a while, believe it or not. Sometimes I'll, if I eat meat and there is a little bit left over, I chop it up for them, and you won't believe it, because you know what you feed in the eggs here. So the, like an example, egg prices go up. What else I noticed? Certain items in veggies, they go up also. Basically the commodities that we use on a daily basis, and even you hear people talking, those people who eat, for example, at McDonald's or Burger King or KFC, whatever, you hear the conversation that the prices in those places going up. Now I heard, I don't know, I didn't go there. I'd be happy to go next time. I go inside McDonald's just to see with my own eyes, because they have the prices on the board there. That they said that the McDonald's with fries and or the burger rather with fries and a drink, whatever, it's now about $10. That's what I heard. So that tells me right there the inflation is. We still have some. We have never. Meat is another item there as well, because I noticed I eat only grass-fed. 99%. It's pricey, but I also, when it goes on sale, I buy it. And because, and even that grass-fed, I sometimes I wonder, because I check and I find out, or I did find once that There's one thing you need to know about meat, guys, is the color of the meat itself. The meat that is processed and all that is very almost bright red. Okay. The meat that comes from the farm, let's say they have a slaughterhouse in the farm and you get a cow, whatever, and you slaughter it, the meat is a little bit darker. It's not as red as. That is the difference between the processed and the non-processed. And of course, if the meat has a lot of just grass-fed and grass-finished, that's usually how you would know. So as far as the inflation, yes, I'm noticing here. There are in different places in New York City, for example, versus here in Texas. You will see a difference. Same thing if you go to Louisiana or Florida and what have you. Those are depends on the location. That's what it will be. Now, so my recommendation is to eat back. MTS, thank you for sharing this. We need to eat good meat. Yeah, because to those who say, well, you can survive without meat. No, nothing's going to replace that kind of protein. There are those who said, now you're seeing the evil Bill Gates pushing this narrative about meatless stuff and all that. It's nonsense. As a matter of fact, I did find out that the farms Bill Gates owns in Washington State, that's the place where the potatoes that are dispersed to McDonald's, that's where the French fries is coming from. It's coming from the farms that are owned by Bill Gates. Well, are you going to trust Bill Gates? I mean, you will be out of your mind if you do. No matter what the guy said, you know, you don't know what he's injecting in those or whatever spraying on those potatoes in his farm and send them over to McDonald's. This is why about 2 months ago, McDonald's had one day or 2 days, something like, I don't recall, where they were doing free French fries. Just stop by and eat French fries. Well, once again, you don't know how old that oil that's been there, maybe for 30 days. Pardon me. They're not going to care about your health. When you eat outside, don't ever think about healthy food. There's no such thing. That is one thing you need to make a decision on as far as what you consume outside. And once again, I say this because I care, guys. I care. If I didn't care about our community, my advice, I won't say a word because I respect your privacy. I respect what you want to eat, whatever. But for me, just because I care, that's why I say it. All right, let me see something. Boycott, good to see you here. Boycott has been another avid supporter of the channel. Thank you so much for being here. So, and it was Army with Harmony that got you the membership. Thank you, Army with Harmony. So, let me see here again. Is the Irene Z? Good to see you as always. Yeah, Irene, you share bread is 3 or 4 euros. Bread is another thing you guys need to be aware of. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Ezekiel bread. No, it doesn't have flour on it. And white bread, and just be aware of bread also. And bread is part of the problems health-wise, because it's carbohydrate and what's in it. So when they make the bread that is so puffy, well, how do you think that happens? For bread, just make sure that you have the bread that is not has the wheat on it and does not what did they call that? There is one term, I couldn't think of it. It'll come to me. I couldn't think of it. So this is the type of bread you want to eat. So bread here is also going up in prices. I don't know the regular one because I only eat the Ezekiel bread. I know the price for it is about $6, $7. That's all I eat. And again, even with that, I only eat 2 pieces of bread. That's it. 2 small piece. That's about it. And usually, in sometimes once a year, like now with the fasting, I go a month without eating bread at all for a whole month. So that's the then pasta and all that. I don't eat much. I eat a little bit. And I remember I did a video for an avid supporter of the channel at that time who owns a company for the pasta stuff. I don't know if I still have the pictures here. Let me see if I do, but if I don't, I'll look it up next time. No, I don't. Yeah, I'll look it up next time. So, and they make a good pasta that I tried it and I liked it. So, all right, let me see here. Bon Jovi. There is a lot of food like walnuts that are high in protein that don't consist of meat. I agree with you. I eat walnuts with every meal. It's like, especially in my morning, when I don't have breakfast. I have at 10 o'clock, whatever you want to call that. And I have to have walnut with that and dates. Walnut and dates. So because walnuts are high in fat and the good fats that your body needs. So, well, that's not a problem, Francis. It's not a problem, but at the same time, you have to think long term. Today, you might not care for it. At least you're honest about it, Francis. So I admire you for that. I admire you for that. But on the other hand, Francis, it's because I care for you as a member of the community. You have to, what's the word I'm looking for? You have to think long term. Today you're young, you're strong, and all that. But as we age, as you know, we tend to things change. It becomes on the type of health you have based your journey on. I'm trying to explain this to my youngest. Is not turning 18, and it's like, man, it's not up to me to dictate to you what to eat. You eat whatever you want. Go grab that sugary drinks or whatever. But mark my word, you will pay the price down the road. And I'm trying just to spare you that agony of when you reach certain age, you're not able to move around. That's all it is. Oh, it's like, okay, well, I know what you mean, Dad. And I was like, listen, man, it's your life. I can't dictate to you. Because I believe that anything we do for our kids after they turn 18 is purely out of love, no more, no less. Anything you do before the age of 18 is out of responsibility. So, and I just want him to be in a good shape down the road, no more, no less. So, all right, let me see here if there's another question from you. Flat Earth. Thank you for bringing this out. You are absolutely correct. Sugar. Once again, guys, and again, because we all have busy life. Don't get me wrong. I to those who are younger than me, at least, I've been there. I know what it's like. But I wish I knew back then what I know today. But again, it wasn't never too late for me because I made the changes and I was aware of certain things. I was very careful, especially the sugar aspects of it. Well, why the sugar is important is because the sugar, at least, and I'm speaking mainly for the American audience here, because the sugar here in the US is processed. I mean, try it. Eat sugar in Cuba, for example. You will have no problem because it's the natural, it's not processed, but it's because the sugar here in the US is processed. And just look how white the sugar. And when they say, by the way, when they say, oh, just eat brown sugar is better, there is no difference. They both are harmful. If you only know, and the worst for the body is the sugar. I mean, think about the cases of cancer. How does cancer survive? It's because of sugar. Cut the sugar out, you see the difference. And this is why to those who do fasting, just try it. Just try it. Take your do blood test at the beginning and do a blood test at the end of the month of Ramadan, and you'll see the difference. Why? Because the fasting in itself, because you are depriving the body of the sugar. Even though I do believe in the Arab culture and the Middle East and so forth, the way they eat at night after sundown might not be considered healthy, because you don't want to eat so much at night when you're fasting during the day. then you eat so much at night and you go to bed. It's the worst thing you can do to your body. The worst. This is why it's good to eat almost 5 to 6 hours before bedtime. Why? You give enough time for your body to digest uh, 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 the food. But depends again on what you eat at night. A lot of people eat once again the carbohydrates and all that. It's not good at night. So, and again, you don't have to be this millionaire to, if you know, if you educate yourselves about nutrition, you will understand. You don't have to be a millionaire. To those who say, I remember last time when I shared some pictures with you about what I eat in the morning, and somebody said, well, doctor, we can't afford this. I say, I understand. I understand the arguments. I truly do. But on the other, I'm not a millionaire, but also end up having deciding on where I spend the dollar on what is important for my health. That's all the idea of it. Cheesecake, and you talk about cheese. Okay, what I'm thinking about it, cheese is tasty and is good, but again, you have to be careful of the type of cheese. For example, I found out that in some supermarkets, when you buy the grinded cheese, or the mozzarella, whatever, that is not a pure 100%. So even cheese, you're gonna have to, and the most expensive cheeses from Europe, and now they're gonna put the tariffs on. You know what it means. So uh, that is problematic. That is problematic. So for the cheese, especially for the cheese they put with the burgers, and I you read on this stuff, you educate yourself on. I found out that the American cheese is processed. That is not. You'll remember, especially to those who are in the US, remember a couple of years ago when information came up about Subway, the sandwiches used to do, and it was a rubber mat, the what do you call it? The mat you use for stretching water. It made out of rubber. That was exactly what was included into that bread. And you wonder why you will stretch the bread that way. Well, the bread not supposed to be that way. Same thing I always say about cheese. You just have to be very, very aware of cheese. Bamboo, you brought up a good point as far as microwave. You all know why is the purpose of microwave. So if you have an option of warming up whatever you need to warm up on a stove, you'll be better off with that. I understand the convenience. I'm not denying it. I use it once a while. But if I need to, for example, and the only way I do it is when I make my coffee in the morning, sort of because I make a froth for my coffee. So I put the creamer in a freezer for about in a microwave for about 20 seconds. That's it, quick, and then take it out. So microwave is another issue, but I'm talking about those who put, for example, frozen food. The pre-cooked meals. You put them in a microwave. What the pre-cooked meals is already bad enough because of what's in it. Then you add the microwave because that thing has to be cooked for about 5-10 minutes in a microwave. So you can see the problem with that. Uh, Eat peanut. Oh, alistalokin. That means you are allergic to peanut. What you need to know is the type of peanut. I don't know what type of peanut you eat. You have to look for the organic type, and the organic. Okay, that's my son texting me. Okay, he'll understand if I don't respond. Yeah, it's the type of peanut. I know some people are also allergic to it, but it's the quality of the peanut, because there are certain ingredients which what triggers probably the itching. So if maybe next time when Dr. Stewart is here, because he understands chemistry, also he has an understanding of this stuff, I'll ask him. I'll bring it up. And vitamins, Tank. Yes, vitamin D does not make nitric oxide, only the UV and red light. And I agree with you. I do both. As a matter of fact, in the afternoon, I go out to the backyard and just expose myself to the sun because it's important. So, and at night, hold on, I'm gonna show it to you. All right, let me show you guys here. Okay, what are we looking at here? We're looking at a red light, and the importance of the red light. It's crucial for the body. Very, very interesting. If you read up a little bit on red light, so every night before I go to bed, I lay under this for about 40 minutes. Just put it up there and let you can put it on your entire body, even on your face, with the assumption that you have to put a cover on your eye. Red light is very, 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 very healthy and very important for health. So thank you for bringing this up, because it's a lot of people do not know much about it. So, Irene Z, you are absolutely correct. And and I'm talking based on my own experience. A few years ago, I started to feel a little bit joint pain. Not all the time, but well, it's because I was eating those, what you call them, waffles, and I eat like the good quality waffle. But even with that, still was enough sugar in them. When I stopped eating that, I cut down on sugar completely. Stopped eating French pastry. And once in a while, I will eat French pastry and all that. Stopped sugar. Cut down completely. I say I cut down by about 70%. Within a month and a half, didn't have those kind of pain, joint pain anymore. So it was just it's just the idea of how. This is why when I talk to my youngest about the health, because of what I went through, and I wanted to avoid that for him. So that's oh, truth seeker. David, you are an ideal good father. Well, I have my flaws. We all do. We all do. That's like my own father, who passed away decades and decades ago. Sometimes I wish he would be alive today just for me to say thank you. I never said thank you. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. So, and he haunts me inside. He bothered me. He really bothers me. But so, and that is the reason why I do what I do with my youngest one here. The older one are old enough, so. But he'll get it. He'll get it. He'll understand. Boycott. You got a point there. As far as the sugar substitute, when you go to coffee shops and they have those stevia, whatever they call that. Yeah, that's even worse. You may as well just eat sugar. So yeah, substitute is where the substitute is going to be is in pure honey, for example. If you really want a sugar, and if you can stomach it, don't eat sugar. Just fight yourself for that. The body gets used to it. And to those who do Ramadan, you know what I'm talking about. The first 3 days of Ramadan, your body just fighting itself, whatever. But after the first week, you get used to it. It becomes the norm. So, but even with honey, you need to know where you get that, and because everything is processed here. That is and that is why cancer depends greatly on sugar, and everything we have has sugar in it. Even that meat you buy at Walmart, whatever, there is sugar in it. I remember one day I went over to a place here way back. They make I don't know, to those who are familiar with Texas, we are known for brisket. And I had to learn how to cook briskets because I make them at home now. I won't eat them outside. But back then I went and I ordered and I had they had some sauce on it. And I took one and I liked it. But it didn't dawn on me at that time to ask them, okay, is there sugar on it? So I went later on and I asked, I said, excuse me, Is this sugar? Do you guys put sugar in this? I said, yes, sir, we do. I said, that explains it. Is there any sauce that doesn't have sugar? He said, no, we add sugar to all. Never had it again. Of course, I went twice after that, and that was the last time I did. So yeah, cancer depends on that, but also cancer also has to do with the big picture, and the big picture is big pharma. You have to understand the game. You have to understand the game. I mean, I will go as far as even talking to you about your toothpaste. What type of toothpaste do you use? Because some of them have the ingredients of aluminum inside the toothpaste that you are brushing your teeth with. And this is why sometimes when you ask a dentist for the fillings, you have to understand what those fillings are made of. So because the big pharma, they wanted to see people sick because it has to do with hospital beds. It's all about greed and money. That's all it is. That's why you can't trust what they're saying. Will I ever trust what the government's saying? No. And again, it becomes on me, not on them. It would become my responsibility to go and educate myself about the issue, about the items that I want to buy, whatever. As an example, peanut butter, I will go and find out, okay, what type of peanut butter do they have on this counter here? And because we had issues here in Texas. For example, we had an outbreak for Caesar salad. Turns out to be that lettuce, whatever that was. They had an outbreak. We had the same thing like Georgia did regarding the peanut butter. Salmonella cases, whatever. But again, people do not spend time to learn about this because they are too busy, which I understand. The lifestyle we live, it's on the run constantly. This is where the Europeans have an edge over us. And I talk to my family and they are always relaxed. They're not stressed out. We are stressed out. And that becomes the point where you reach a point in your life. And I am at that point now. You start to ask yourself, what is more important? What is more important, especially for whatever remaining on earth? You want to live it in a good environment. And that good environment starts with, of course, reducing stress level. And the reduction of that stress level has to do with the type of lifestyle you are living. And I'm starting to put serious questions as to, do I want to stay in this environment here I'm in? And most of the indications telling me no, time to change. And I'm gonna embark on that. This is why I do consider the idea of teaching elsewhere. I do consider the idea of changing the environment. And don't worry, I will keep the YouTube as long as they leave it there. Speaking of YouTube, do you guys know we are only 2,000 subscribers from reaching 100? No. And again, it's not a big deal to me. It'll happen when it happens. I'm never after that kind of stuff. Remember, quality versus quantity. They are those who, more power to them, good luck to them. I wish them the best of luck. It's just not my type. So I care about the quality of the information more so than anything else. So let me see another question from you guys, if there is one. Bamo, that is correct. Fluoride. Stay away from that. Stay away from that. Did you know the idea of this? You have to do your teeth cleaning every 6 months. It's a bogus. There's no truth to that. If you take care of your teeth yourself, you don't need to go. And the what's her name? She is a doctor from Australia. O'Neill, Barbara O'Neill. And if you listen to her remedies, homemade remedies, she hardly ever see a dentist. And she was right, because I tried it and it worked out. I don't remember the last time I had my teeth clean. It was overseas. It wasn't even here in the US. Why? Because I found out that if you use xylitol, which is in toothpaste, you brush with it. The one thing is I don't rinse my mouth when you brush, because also I don't touch the water from in the sink, whatever. You don't touch tap water because it's what's in it. So when you do xylitol, the toothpaste, you don't need to rinse your mouth because xylitol, the ingredients on it, is what's good for the cover of the teeth, and that's how he keeps it clean. Of course, you floss and you brush nicely and regularly and so forth. You will have no problem with it. So I have no intention whatsoever now to go see a dentist here to clean my teeth because I don't need to. Let alone the moment you get there, they'll ask you to do X-ray. What for? I was one time just wanted to find out. And I said, yeah, I'm interested in cleaning my teeth. I said, yeah, sure. We'll schedule an appointment, but you need to do the X-ray. I said, why do I need the X-ray for? Well, it's mandatory by the state. And I said, what the heck? What the state has to do with the health of my teeth? And I just shook my head. I said, you know what? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So I never bothered with it. Imtiaz, is coffee good? A coffee, it is good. But you have also to know what type of coffee you are. There is a coffee that doesn't have mold in it. Because remember, coffee, the one you drink outside, and I used to drink it too. I'm not denying this. When I was in my last trip to China, I drank coffee outside, and that coffee has mold in it. It's just the way it is. But the coffee, there are coffees out there pricey. And again, I wish I would. I'm not going to go to the kitchen to get it. I have one that I bought. It's like $13, $14 just, but it doesn't have mold in it at all. And you can tell the taste and the difference between a regular coffee and that coffee. Where the key comes in as far as a good quality coffee, of course, is what you put with it. A lot of people put that syrup stuff, whatever, which is bad to begin with. Now, creamer, if you are to use creamer, use the 100% milk. Not this fat-free nonsense stuff. Because basically all it is water. Get the 100% creamer. Okay? Just a little bit. No sugar. If you can stomach that one, but you get used to it. I don't remember last time I had sugar in my coffee. And I mean it when I say probably over some 15, 20 years ago. So, and the quality, the type of coffee when you grind it. That depends again how you process coffee. Do you use an espresso machine? Do you use the French press? Each one of them has its own method. One thing they all agree on is that your water has to be hot at about 265 degrees. And if you do the coffee press, you let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes because that's where coffee ingredients gets dissolved within the hot water. And again, for me personally, I add cinnamon, pure cinnamon, and I get this one in the market that is from Vietnam. Vietnam is known for cinnamon, pure cinnamon. A little pricey, but again, what you put in your body. And I limit the coffee to 1 to 2 cups a day. That's it. As a matter of fact, the last 5 years, I did about 1 cup a day. That's about it. 2 cups is not bad. Where the advantage of coffee, especially for women, they found out that it cut down breast cancer by about 20%. So there is that possibility. So it just depends again where you Starbucks coffee. Well, Starbucks coffee has mold in it. Don't be surprised at that. Like anything else. So that is where the problem. I see someone, Mr. Iman. Thank you so much for your super sticker. You wrote, Dr. O, you are not alone in a regret for not thanking your old man. I lost mine last year and I never got a chance to show my thanks. It haunts me, especially at night. Wow. So sorry to hear that, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah. Thank you so much for your super sticker. Yeah, guys, to those who still have your parents around, grandpa, whatever. Yeah, just a word of thanks. This is why I lashed out at somebody one time here in our community. It's not here. He was just visiting, whatever, and put a comment. And the comment was, well, why do you have to spend this much time to say thank you to the community? And I just lost it in writing. And I'm very respectful, but I will not, no matter whom I'm talking to, I will not tolerate, somebody who talks down to me, or somebody who's been disrespectful. And this person, individual, because he never came back, he or she, I can't tell, was a screen name. Never saw that screen name again, ever. Because what I said was piercing, if I may use the term. Like there's to those who speak Arabic. I don't know if is there anybody here who speaks Arabic? Let me just say yes or no before I'll say what I need to say here. Let's see if there is anybody who speaks Arabic. Probably not. Probably not. Anyway, it's basically there's a saying in the Naam Irene. So there's a saying in Arabic that says جراحة السنان لها التئام ولا يلام ما جرح اللسان. So, which means basically the cut of a sword can be healed, but the cut of a tongue, which means a word you say, cannot. And that is why, to me, what angered me about this individual who couldn't see and appreciate what it's like to be grateful and thankful. And for him or her to lose his or her patience in 2 minutes for me to say thank you to the community, and I just say won't have it. And that is what I'm saying, guys. It's just, if you, I wish my parents passed away. They died when I was 20. My dad died when I was 20, and my mom died when I was 23. So 3 years after that. So it's kind of, and that's it. Do I regret some things? Yes, of course. Out of all the time that I used to just spend them at the beach. That's, if you couldn't find me at home, you find me at the beach. That's where I hang out most of my time. But again, I never understood. I remember, and I'll share this private stuff. Usually I don't talk my personal stuff, but you're my community here. So I remember my mom used to say, come here, I need to show you how to cook certain things. Oh, no, I need to go hang out at the beach. And I regretted that. Of course, I learned how to cook now. So I cook my own stuff. But again, can you imagine? Your mother's food will never be replaced, no matter what, no matter who cooks it. You all know this. So, and it's because you're a kid. You don't think in those terms of, the value of the parents till they're gone. And it hits me, especially after my mom died. It took me about 4 years to get over her death. 4 years. It was one of the hardest period. I deal with pain and all that, so like all of us, different way. I will not fall into alcohol and drugs and all that. It's not me. You face what you need to face. But it was the idea of, and this is again what upsets me about the person. That I'm a grateful person. It's my personality, and if somebody doesn't like it, that's too bad. So anyway, so let me see something else here. And this is why I like our community. You're right, Karakulak. 20-year-olds, thank you. I was one of those. I'll admit it. I will not deny it. I was one of the. I at least left my sort of the options open to learn more. But what does my dad know about? What does my mom know about? What do the parents know about? So you're absolutely correct. It's and again, if I wish one thing in life now, just to spend one afternoon with them, and I'll have coffee. I'll make them coffee if they, my parents, they had me older when they were old a little bit, so because my mom lost one before, so anyway, that's life. Okay. Oleutu, I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name. I am 20 and I really want to prosper in my life. My dream and my parents are clashing. Well, first of all, find your path in life. Find what you are more happy about, what you like to do, what you know. That's like, especially 20 years. You have a next decade to really carve out the path for your future. And what you do between now and 30 will really be the foundation of what comes after that. So as to the other aspects of working out the differences, well, every family has that. There's no, because if there's no confrontation like that, life will be boring. No, it's just a matter of figuring out a way to work through that. That's yeah. And actually, Dr. Stewart will be far better qualified than me to talk about this, since he deals with psychology. So that's usually. Oh, flat Earth. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I had a one day with my youngest who backtalked me and found himself on the ground. Just when not, of course, the government here dictate the terms the government wanted to tell you how to discipline your kid, and I kind of like, I ain't gonna happen. It will be over my dead body if that ever. So, and when that happened at night, I went to my son's room, and I know he was shaken by what happened, but I said, listen, if I don't do this now, can you imagine what you're going to be telling me when you turn 16, 17, or 18? And he understood it. Michael got it. If ever I'll have Michael here, he'll tell you the story. And he said, well, I am so sorry. I said, I'm sorry too, but I will not allow you to disrespect me that way. And of course, the government is saying, oh, you're going to have to, we have to decide how to discipline your kid. This is what the degradation of our society is from. That's part of it, because the social structure is so fragmented. You got like a 16, 17 saying the F word to the parents. If my dad were alive, and I will even backtalk my dad, I'll find out. Discipline was part of it. And we don't have that here anymore. To the point one day, I remember way back, we're eating dinner, and one of the kids was complaining about food. And it happened to be, I just returned from Yemen, where I saw the poverty. Kids going through the trash to find food. I was sitting in a restaurant, I couldn't eat. I had to ask the manager. I said, do me a favor, get a plate and take it to those kids, and I'll pay for it. So just don't say any word, just give them a plate, and that's it. No need to say that these people pay for whatever. So I came back home, and one of the kids was complaining about dinner. And I said, do me a favor, get up right now. Get up, go brush your teeth, go to bed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Didn't even finish dinner. Take your plate out over the counter, go brush your teeth, and go to bed. Never had an issue with it again. Because the next day, I said, if you couldn't appreciate that there is food on the table here, that means you are taking things for granted. Because there is some kid somewhere in the world that hasn't eaten for the last 24 hours. And if you couldn't be grateful and appreciative for what you have, then I'm going to make you understand. Never had that issue again. And to me, it was the idea of, if I don't deal with it now, can you imagine what will become later on? And here in the US, I tell you, the amount of how much government is getting involved into dictating how to discipline your kid is causing more problems. And I'm not saying about you go and abuse your kids. That is not what I'm advocating for. Of course, you can't do that. That's not right. But discipline matters. And this is why there was a study conducted here in the US. And the study was, they found out the structure of society here in the US. You know what they found out? That the kids living in societies, in families rather, of Asian descent, even some European descent, are staying together. Grandma still at home, if she happens to be still living at home. So, and we don't have that. We don't have that. I see a question here on a matter. Is your son knowledgeable in geopolitics? He starts to, now the short answer is no, but he starts to ask questions that usually a 16, 17-year-old will not ask. For example, last time he asked me, it's like, how come we have so much debt? Well, for a 16, 17-year-old to be even thinking about that, that tells me something. But geopolitics in general term, no. Is that age, football and this and that and all that. I No, he's not. I'm even thinking one day to bring him in a show and get into a conversation. So and just see what he has to say. For we'll have just a simple conversation. So this is what, and it's important. And again, I made it clear. It's for his own benefit, not for me. And I told him straightforward, because I don't shy away from him. He knows how I operate. I said, I don't need anything from you. So this way you put it on the table. So, but the respect for the parents, as long as the parents are alive, that's non-negotiable. And he got it. He understood. He got it. So, let me discipline. Indeed, Paul. Yeah, discipline is important. And discipline is not about the physical aspect. Discipline is about even your own life. When you are disciplined, it really makes life go certain directions according to what you want, with the good strategy and all that stuff. Things don't happen in a vacuum, of course, but discipline is one of them. So when you are disciplined, it helps you at least prioritize rather the tasks and get to the objective that you want to achieve. Without discipline, it will be chaos, and we all know what it means. We all know what it means. So and to me, the way you teach kids, it's to this is one thing I used to do at the university, but apparently the university didn't like the way I do it. And I said, I will not compromise on that. There's no way, including discipline. Because I had one day some guy walked in, it was because he got a football scholarship. Well, more power to you. But you're walking into my classroom with a sandwich and a muscle shirt, whatever. I tell you, turn around and leave my classroom. It's my classroom. I got to make sure that is a conducive learning environment. And he looks at me like I'm speaking some foreign language. And right there, it gives me an idea. The guy has never been disciplined, because I faced him with that reality later on, because his coach called me and I said, thank you, Dr. O, for doing that. And I said, discipline is important. So that's just how that's how I believe in it. It did me good. It was the discipline that prevented me from getting in the wrong path, like drugs, like alcohol, like hanging out with the wrong people. And this is also where part of the issue is. You are the 5 people you surround yourself with. Have you ever noticed sometimes you run to people that they want to pull you down, they drag you down? Why is that? Because they don't want you to succeed. They're seeing something in you. Don't allow that. And the way you do it is you separate yourself from those negative individuals. Always be attracted to positive energy. It might not mean a thing to you guys, but I feel comfortable enough now to say I am old enough to say what I'm saying. If you ask me 15 years ago, I won't use that term, but I feel I'm old enough now. I didn't cross 60 yet. Yeah, but you kind of learn over time. It's the people you surround yourself with. Because I've seen it. It happened to me in my 20s when some so-called acquaintances were around me, were pulling me down, trying to pull me down, but I didn't allow it. So what I did, I broke ties with those guys. Rafael is an avid supporter of the channel. I can't thank you enough, Rafael, for your support, man. And I want you to know in front of the entire community, it means a lot to me, and I am very, very grateful. Your question is, after yesterday's fiasco, Russia, US, and China will have a summit to plan how to keep Europe from starting World War III. I think they will disarm Europe for the protection of the world. There is the possibility of that. And what triggers my answer is what the defense minister of Germany just said this morning. And what he said was he wants to increase the militarization of Germany. Because as of now, there is a hidden fight that's going on inside Europe between 2 countries. One is Poland and the other is Germany. Why? Because Polish army or military is getting stronger. Germans are nervous about that. They don't want that. So the possibility is there, yeah, disarming Europe altogether. Or the way you do it is you dissolve NATO, dissolve it, and let the European establish their own NATO, their own whatever they want to call it. But because they're gonna find out that they won't be able to sustain it financially when people start to worry. So I see the point of view. I said it back then, guys. I said it back then that I said, Mike, my word, what is going to be happening is that a deal will be cut between Donald Trump and the Russian president. So, okay, let me see this one. I hate to be that guy, honestly, but I am compelled to invite you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I don't do religion. I'll be straightforward about it with you. I respect that. I don't. That's just not me. I start to question so many things for the last 15 years, but I respect your opinion. And like I always say, if you only know the dark side of the Vatican, you know. And again, I had access to certain things, and no offense, I respect that, but it just religion is not for me completely. So let me see. Oh wow, we are almost 1 hour. Why not with the community? And by the way, guys, just to let you know, just to let you know, any conversation we have, I demonetize all those because this is my time with you. And I want to be clear about that one. So I know someone asked one time, whoa, did YouTube demonetize? I said, no, it's my decision. My conversation with the community gets demonetized completely because that's how I want it. And on Monday, tomorrow, I think I'll be releasing a video that is a sponsored video, guys. I would greatly appreciate if you can just hit the like and share it with Flat Earth. You got it. Yeah, remember Hitler. You're right. You're right. So, but this is what's going on in Europe, and I will be going to Europe, and I intend to go to certain locations for a reason, and but also it will be a surprise in that. So, Ramp also won. I don't know why kids are so disrespectful nowadays. I guess parents work all day and never with them to teach them. I agree with you. It's the lifestyle. It's the lifestyle. There is no discipline at home. It's because we start to worry about, oh, I gotta be concerned. I used to experience that in classroom, but not to the point of I will not allow disrespect, whatever. But I could just tell when sometimes I will talk and I'll get straightforward, and I could just sense because I see the facial expressions. I'm trained to look for certain things, and I could see now they worrying about how they're gonna feel instead of how they're gonna think. The same thing with kids. We worry about, oh, I am going to depress my kid if I talk this way or that way. No, 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 no. In matters of discipline, there is no emotions into that. Because discipline, the objective of it is to ensure that your kid does the right thing when you are not around. It made more sense to me now that my father passed away. And I never knew why the guy was so strict with me. My dad was strict with me. I never knew. I thought he didn't like me. I'll be honest. I asked my mom one day after he passed away. I asked her. She said, sit down. Sit down, I'll tell you. Your dad has always been concerned about ensuring that you know what to do if and when he's gone. And it hits me like a brick. I never got it. Because what did I know at that time? But it was that discipline that kept me. Because I knew what the consequences would be. And I did it the same with my own. If I ever find out you are involved in drugs, I will turn you in myself. And if you think I'm bluffing because you are my son, you are mistaken. Even some have told me, oh, you won't do that to your son. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. And that was my rule, by the way. Two things. You get involved in drugs, and if you get arrested, do not call me to bail you out. because I don't drag my name into that kind of stuff. You deal with it. So that means you're gonna have to learn where you go, who you hang out with, the type of so-called friends, and all that. So I agree with you, Ramples. I want spot on. Couldn't agree more. All right, let me see one more thing here, or you guys wanna we keep talking a little bit. I'm open with. It's your time. It's our time. It's the community. Hmm. Chris, are you able to talk to the Vatican staff you saw, or do you feel comfortable remaining quiet on that subject? Well, it's to me. Why will I need to talk to them for? Knowing how I know how the system inside the Vatican works and for what reason. And even talking to them is not going to make a difference because there's now a conversation in who is here at the front door. Okay, I could see through the window. Uh, it is now a talk inside the Vatican about who the next pope is going to be. I'm wondering, will it be a pope from Africa? Will it be an African pope? Even with the papacy, it's a very, very political. No, the short answer is no. I will not, and I wouldn't get involved in all that stuff. So it's beyond me. So that's just how I feel. I could be wrong, but that's just how I feel. So, uh, Irene, you wrote, I left for 2 weeks and my kids strain up a bit. I have the impression. Yeah, must be something that works out. We were when we were that age, we never appreciate the parents, of course. So I just it's all about discipline. Literally, that's how I see it. It's all about discipline, and to me, it builds character, and they will appreciate it later on in life. Like in my case, with my parents, the only sad part is they're gone. I don't have a chance to, and I was the only child. I didn't have brother or sister, so I just it was different. That is a good one. Just make sure don't put too much sugar, and don't eat it too late because of the fasting again. I don't know. The way I tried it, guys, I do one meal in 24 hours. One meal. That's it. I tried it and it worked. So I won't worry about it. All right. Let me see if there is another question from you. Oh, Irene Z, thank you. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. All right. Let me see if there is. I'm just scrolling to see if there is one quickly here. Oh, Mr. Iman, thank you so much for your super sticker. Once again, truly, truly appreciate you for that. I'm very, very grateful. I want you to know. Yeah, that's to me the whole idea of just to wrap up all this, and because I'm gonna go and I need to drive the Mustang today because I haven't driven it for a week almost. Then do some chore. I need to take care of the garden and prepare the soil and all that because I want to plant potatoes to get ready on that. So I need to go do some work. Excuse me. What was I gonna say? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. So I'm gonna just Army with Harmony, how are the chickens? They're doing good. They're growing. They're chicken. They have their routine, but 5:45 they will have to go inside, and they have their own spot inside the kitchen. Happen to have a big kitchen, so there's one corner just for them. They go up there and sit and sleep till 0700 hours in the morning. So, and they lay egg every day. So they're doing good. Doing good. Uh, uh, Question: when did it click in your mind during your military background that America might be the bad guy in all of this? Well, it's that'll be a hard one to specifically say it was this issue or that issue. Uh, my presence in the military, and I'll share it with you guys. Remember, I didn't join the military joined me. I got a phone call from the Pentagon. So that set the tone for how things is going to be. And at that time, I was in Third Corps, which was right here in Texas. And it wasn't more about the military. It was more about the foreign policy of the United States. But that foreign policy was using the military as a tool for it. Well, if I am part of the military, that means I am part of the tool. And when you started to see, for example, the invasion of Iraq, which I wrote about it, not to go forward with it because of what's going to lead to. And of course, to them, I'm nobody. I'm just another person serving. And my message didn't make it to the boss. So the boss didn't get a chance to read what I had to say. And missed that opportunity. But what saddened me the most was the outcome. And the outcome, what happened in Iraq, which you all know, turns out to be exactly what I talked about prior to the invasion, what I was trying to avoid. So, and right there, you start to realize this is going a direction where, I start to feel uncomfortable because I start having a hard time sleeping, knowing that did we do the right thing or not? And most of the answers were no, we did the wrong thing, knowingly, intentionally. And I'll take back the case of even though it happened later, but again, my conviction was when I start to see in 2007 the lead into what's going on in Ukraine today. What happened in Ukraine today didn't happen in 2014. It happened back in 2007. And that's how we keep working onto this. And to me, it's like I do not want to be part of this because in clear conscience, it's my decision now. And I told them, after all, you called me. I didn't join you. So I said, we're done. And once again, they thought I was bluffing, and I don't bluff. I said, we're done. And that's where it hits me hard because when my time comes to check out, I want to go out in peace. I don't want to have something lingering in my mind that I knew I did the wrong thing on this. So that's the reason why. And of course, there are certain things I can't talk about because, as you know, the law and all that stuff, I'm bound by. I signed the documents for 75 years, which means I'll be gone. I mean, not even the family. It's just the way it is. So, was it an eye opener? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And I'm glad I get a chance to do that, to see, because that's what equips me and helps me today when I do this analysis for you guys. It's part of my background, both academic and professional. Because if I didn't have that experience, I won't be able to call myself a geopolitical analyst. How can I be calling myself a geopolitical analyst with no qualifications whatsoever? Can't, because that's misleading. And to me, if we start on the wrong foot, that's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. Oh, let me share this one here if I may. I know how that works. My dad was a linguist, PhD, who spoke 7 languages. The US military called him because Arabic speaker English. I was asked to teach at DLI, the Defense Language Institute in Monterey, California. But I said, no, thank you. I'm not interested. So mine was part of that, but also was involved in some other very high sensitive, given the level of clearance that I was actually, the community, I'll share it with you. Mine was under executive order by the President of the United States. So it's even the term for the clearance itself is classified. All right, let me see one more here. Let me see, and I'm just looking at, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the community keeping the conversation civil. I had a comment last time in a private conversation with one of the guests. I don't remember what. said, wow, you got an interesting community. I said, why is that? He said, well, this seems to be, first of all, informed, and second is the nature of the questions they were asking. And I said, yes, they are. Yes, they are. And it's a community that we all put in efforts into building it. So I don't take credit by myself because it's not right. So I see this one here. I'm gonna comment briefly. You can read between the line. You know, yeah, CIA is for life though. Yeah, you don't want to go that dark alley. That's all I can say. It's a dark alley, very dark. So, all right, let me see what else there, guys. Yeah, if I don't have questions here, I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna just want to make sure I don't miss any. We talked about discipline and all that stuff. So, yeah. Uh, and uh, no. Okay, let me see here. Uh, okay, yeah, I don't. Do we need a new currency? That's an interesting question. Actually, we do. But again, why do we need a currency for to begin with? If you let the countries decide for their own. So if you and I wanted to enter into a transaction, how about just you and I decide on a commodity that will be of benefit to you and benefit to me? Why do we need to have a third party? Because the third party end up controlling the process. You control the process, you control the outcome. This is exactly what's going on with the US dollar. Even these hypes of this deal regarding Ukraine, rare earth minerals, whatever, which is a lie anyway. Even the fund for that is going to be in a private account. That tells you right there the story, who's going to be controlling that and in what currency is going to be. So, oh, Michael Julian, good to see you. Michael is another avid supporter. And by the way, I do read your comments, Michael. Thank you so much for contributing to the conversation. I'm very, very grateful to you for that. Uh, uh, so, and they just the way I see it. Yeah. But we need to have a different currency because we have abused the power that we gained after World War II. And that's usually not a good way of how you manage dealing with the people. At some point, someone's going to resist that. And we are looking at that right now. And this is where the change of the multipolar world. And I want to say thank you to Sarah Carol. Thank you so much, Sarah. You are a real straight up man, and that is why I am here. So I'm very grateful, to have you here as part of our community. So uh, just to go back to my point quickly here, this is why, and you know now who's going to be holding the end of the stick? Do you guys know regarding the Ukraine deal, whatever? It's none other than Marco Rubio. Why is that? It was Marco Rubio who advised Trump, let's cut a deal with the Ukraine. They have massive amount. They sold him a lie and he bought into it. So that is where the problem. That's why if you noticed, go guys and check out, if you want to look at that, look at the confrontation that took place between Trump and Zelensky. And if they show the picture, see how Marco Rubio was sitting. His body language will tell you. So that is where the big difference is. So, and I want you to, oh, Army with Harmony, man. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much for your super sticker. Greatly appreciate you. So, that is where that difference is. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Flatter Black Rock. They're gonna be controlling that process, and there will be no reconstruction. Let's just not kid ourselves. Yeah, yeah, there will be no reconstruction. I mean, if we were thinking in those terms, we would have rebuilt Iraq. Well, who's rebuilding Iraq right now? China, not the US. They built them high schools. They built. I used to go to some schools over there when I was in Iraq. I will go, and that's why I never wanted to stay at the embassy. I mean, what the heck? You just come and stay. If you don't go out in the society and understand the people and the culture, you're not gonna experience. You're not gonna know. We used to have the analysts come over from Washington and said, "Mr. O, we need to know this." I said, "Well, let me take you downtown Baghdad." "Oh, I'm not going there, Mr. O." I said, "Why not?" How can you write an analysis for the president to make a decision without you even seeing what's going on in the ground? Well, it's like, well, that's beyond me. That is beyond me. So it's for Ukraine. Ukraine shot itself in the foot the moment back in 2022 when they decided not to sign the peace deal with the Russians because Boris Johnson stopped there. Right there, they should have taken a stand and say to Boris Johnson, "Thank you, but no thanks." But they choose not to. As for us here, America's foreign policy hasn't. The last time we had even close to it was 40 years ago. But again, when you look at the 40 years, the history we did in Southeast Asia and so forth, it's not a pretty one. So would you call that a foreign policy? Not necessarily. At least you had that butcher, Henry Kissinger. Uh, he knew at least the dynamics of geopolitics. You give credit where credit is due. But yeah, it's America. We have no diplomats. We have no statesmen. We have no, because the individuals who get involved in these high-ranking positions do not have the background that accommodate that kind of the understanding of the type of decisions to make. Well, what do you expect? We are seeing the outcome of it. I mean, if I am to go, do you think they're gonna like somebody like me? Because I'm not gonna call for war, and let's say straightforward. The first thing we're gonna do, you're gonna have to sit down and talk with the rest of the world. Let's figure out, first of all, where the problems are. But if I am the source of the problem, well, then I need to look inward first before I'll tell other countries. They're not gonna like that. And that's why when I was approached to run for Congress, I knew where this is going. Why would I want to be part of that? I said, no, thank you. Even those individuals who approached me saying, we will take care of all the finances, whatever. I said, that's where the problem is. You take care of the finances, I become your man, which means you hold, you hold it over me as to the policies you would want me to do for you, not for the constituent. And I can't live with myself that way. Because trust means a lot to me, and I can't betray that. So I said, no, I'm not interested. Thank you very much. So, and I left it at that. Oh, bro, Eswar, thank you so much for your super sticker. Greatly appreciate you for that. You wrote the U.S. ambassador in Haiti car being shot up by a gang at least 4 times in the past year. How come they don't talk about it in the news? Yeah, they won't. That's how much dislike they have for American presence. And even if some countries, then, same thing in Iraq. That's why when those guys will come from DC, I say, let me take you out of this. So no, we're not going. Because they saw the footage of the cars. Some of us, we go out and the cars being sprayed. Some survive, some didn't. Won't disclose that. So yeah, that's the reason why. So, thank you so much for your super sticker. Appreciate you for that. And it's just how, like in life, if you have an issue, are you gonna go and just start blaming everybody else instead of looking inward? You start with yourself first, and that's always the best way. Because here is the thing, guys. At least for us in the West, the Western culture, there is one particular issue we are not willing to face. I had to train myself to be able to do it. It took me years. And you know what? To stay quiet and silent for a moment. That forces me to start listen to the inner voice as to what's going on wrong or why things are going on wrong before I'll start pointing fingers at others and blaming others, because I never wanted to look inward. It was hard at the beginning, and later on I found it very important. Something that convinced me for my decision to leave Washington altogether. There were those plans, especially after I finished the PhD and move into the. But again, I'm like, no, 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 no. I see it where it's going. Do I want to be part of that? Do I want to compromise on everything that I stand for? No. I better leave now while it's time. That's why I decided to embark on my own doing consulting. I can advise foreign governments. I don't work for Washington. I am not under no obligation whatsoever. What I am under obligation is that the classified information that I had access to and so forth, that will not be disclosed or discussed. That's it. As to which government I can advise, Washington has no right, and I will never allow it, even if we have to take it to court, allow them to dictate to me. So I decided to go that route. I do my speaking engagements, sometimes for private entities. That's why my engagements are not recorded. There's no recording. It's just because the sensitivity of the topics, not the classified side, but just the sensitivity. So, and I'm content with that. I'm happy with what I have. I don't need millions of dollars. I'm not after that. I don't want that. I am just content with what I have, because I'm able to go to bed and sleep and wake up the next day with new ideas, with whatever. There is a zest for life. There is some drive into life. And the community, our community, is only helping me also into this. You guys have any idea how excited I get when I know I'm going to be doing live stream with you? I might never said that, but I am. But I am. So it's because of that sharing of the information. That is what it's all about. I ramble so on. I will have to disagree with you on that word, the perfect person. No. As far as teaching, no, and I'm teasing you. You know that. I've been told this a lot. As a matter of fact, I hold on. I'm going to share it with you. Where is? All right. Let me show you. I'm going to show you something. Let me put my left or right. Speaking of teacher, this is the award that I won for the NISAT. It's called NISAT, the best teacher of the year. And the thing is, I got this the first year. As a matter of fact, the first semester I got into the college teaching. That is the one I got. So, and they even gave me this medal here. It says excellence award, and I got it through the University of Texas at Austin. So, just to make a point about the teacher part, yeah, and this is why I feel this drive inside to go teach in China. I don't know why. But even with that, it has to be the right fit that both the university and I see eye to eye on the issue. But again, the one thing I know for sure is the students in China will be far more disciplined than the ones here in the US. So that I know for sure. Question here: how do you feel when you resigned the career as a teacher and decided to do lives instead? Well, remember, I am a consultant. I have my other stuff. I am also a speaker. You know, this is part of what I do. YouTube stuff, but YouTube for me is more for learning than anything else. You know, I enjoy this one here. That's why because I felt I have the qualifications, I have the knowledge. What will I do with that if I am just not sharing this with people? from around the world because it becomes useless. That's like when you get a PhD. So what? If you couldn't share that knowledge with others. Yeah. That is it just felt right to do this, and now I am moving into the next step. And even with the next step, teaching in China, I will still maintain the YouTube because it will be one of the conditions for employment for me, because I don't just wash my hand off the community overnight. I don't That's not how I operate. That's not how I operate. So that is why this is very, very important to understand. And again, I found our community wonderful, and I intend to keep it for as long as I can do this. I mean, I know we had a hard time with YouTube and all that stuff, and I know they've been unsubscribing some of you. I'm aware of that. Why they do that, I don't know. I can sometimes, where certain questions don't have an answers, I don't waste my energy. Yeah. But I will not waver from saying the truth. And if they want to shut it down, shut it down. So life goes on. So anyway, guys, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this time with me here for our community conversations. Next month, I'm gonna make sure I'll give Dr. Stewart a heads up about 2 weeks prior to that, and then we'll just go from there. So and we'll go. So remember tomorrow, I think tomorrow, yeah, I will be releasing that video. Please just share it with others. And if this is your first time here, please subscribe to the channel and share it with others so they can, like you here, have the opportunity to hear the truth. And so I enjoy the rest of your day, Saturday, the weekend, that is. Be safe, and I look forward to seeing you next week. As always, remember, geopolitics impact your daily life in more ways than one. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye.